have you ever wondered why or how newcomers in the country are able to just buy a house within the first year, within the second year of they coming into Canada? Like, though you see it on, especially we YouTubers, you see it on our page, you're like, hey, I just bought my home after 6 months in Canada and all that. That is because the government has made it easy for newcomers, for first-time home buyers to be able to purchase a home, a whole home, with just 5% down payment. Of course, it comes with a lot of criteria, with a lot of eligibility and all that, but it is actually doable for you to buy a home with just 5%. And this is not a new thing. It has actually been in existence for a long time for people to be able to buy a home with just 5% down payment. It's been in existence for a long time, but of course, information is everywhere, but at the same time, it's not everywhere. Some people are not aware of it, and some people see it as a kind of big deal, or they see it as something that is not attainable to be able to save up 5%. You know, 5% is very, very easy to save if you make up your mind, if you have this saving culture and this discipline between you and your spouse to be able to save up. Because trust me, it makes sense 100% for you to start to own your home early, so that whatever mortgage you're paying, you are building the equity of your home, right? You're building the equity of your home. You're not just paying rent, and at the end of the day, you cannot even account for it. You cannot even say, okay, this rent I've been paying, I've been saving it up for myself, you know. So, but if you own a mortgage, whatever money you're paying monthly as a monthly mortgage, you're adding it to your home equity, which eventually you can even borrow from it after some time, maybe for renovation or to buy your second home. So that will be another video for another time. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Saidatu's Daily. It's been a while I made a sit-down video. I've been so busy. I may tell you guys what I've been up to. Yeah. So I'm going to be starting a series of video on mortgage, because that is something that I have been having some inquiries on from newcomers, from new immigrants. So I'm just going to be making a series of videos. I think I'm going to make like 5 videos on mortgage, and this is going to be the first one. So this is specifically for like newcomers, new to Canada, people that are just going to start getting like their first home, like first home buyers. So this particular video is going to be for them, for us. Yeah. So now I'm going to be talking about saving for your down payment. I'm going to be talking about types of accounts you can open to save your down payment. I'm going to be talking also on the amount of down payment you'll be needing to buy your first home, what makes you eligible to be a first-time home buyer. I'm also going to be talking about pre-approval, how to get pre-approved for your mortgage. Like, you want to know how much you're eligible, what type of house you should be looking at, how much the value of the home you should be looking at based on your income, based on your family income, that is you and your spouse, if you and your spouse is going to be doing it. So this series is something you should look out for, and this is the first one. So today I'm going to be talking about down payments, and like how much down payment you need as a first-time home buyer. And this is like directed mostly to like immigrants, mostly immigrants, and young guys that are just about to buy their first home. So this video is just like an information. It's not a financial advice. I advise you to go seek a financial advice from a licensed financial advisor in any financial institution. This is for information based, just like how I've been doing in my other videos. It's not a financial advice. So this is kind of like a disclaimer. In everything I do, I always tell you to make additional research. I talk on immigration, I talk on finance, but I always let you know that you should make additional research, and in this case you should visit a licensed financial advisor, either a mortgage advisor or a financial advisor. Yeah. All right, so let's go right into it. Okay, so what makes one to be eligible to be called like a first-time home buyer in Canada? So now you're going to be considered as a first-time home buyer if, one, this is going to be like your first home you're going to be purchasing in the country, like you've never owned a home. Secondly, like in the last 4 years you have not owned a home. In the last 4 years you have not owned a home to your name. You have not lived with a spouse that has a home. You do not have like a mortgage or a home. Sorry, I'm distracted. You do not have like an application, like a mortgage application with your name on it, stated on it, like you're part of the borrower or something. These guys are making so much noise here. Okay, so the standard down payment anybody can put down on a home here in Canada is 20%. Some people even do 30, 35%, 40%, depending on your income, but the standard is 20%. But as a first-time home buyer, which applies mostly to like immigrants, like we're just coming in, we're less than 2 years or less than 1 year in the country, you can put down as low as 5% of the value of the home. So let's take for example, you have a home of let's use the a value of a home of like 500,000. like you want to buy a home of 500,000 CAD. 5% of that amount is going to be 25,000. So 25,000 is the minimum you can keep or you can save up for a down payment of a home. So now, if the home you're purchasing is $500,000 and below, the minimum you can do is 5%, which is 25,000. If the value of the house is between 500,000 and $999,000, then the first 500,000 you're going to pay. The first 500,000 you're going to pay 5%. Then the remaining amount above the 500,000 you're going to pay 10% as down payment. So if you're buying a house of below 500,000, you're going to pay 5%. If it's above, for example, you're now buying a house of like 700,000, you're going to pay 5% on 500,000. They're going to pay 10% on the remaining 200,000 as your down payment, as the minimum down payment of the house you're looking to buy. At the sources of your down payment, where can you like source a down payment from? So over here in Canada, you have to show accumulated down payment. You have to show that, okay, this down payment, this is the source. You need to be able to show that this money came from this place. That is why it is advised that you open an account, which I'm going to be talking about in the next video. You open an account where you're going to be saving up monthly or bi-weekly, depending on how your income comes in. You save it and you're building up the income. Of course, you can put in lump sum, but make sure the lump sum you're putting in as your down payments, as your savings, it has an origin, like it's somewhere you can justify. If it is coming from different sources, you want to just be able to explain, because trust me, any amount you're going to put down as your down payment is going to be scrutinized by the advisor. They're going to want to know where this money came from. They want to know if it came from you say it came from my savings in, for example, in X bank. They want to see the statement of the X bank to show that, okay, this amount came from here and it landed in your account. You can be doing accumulated saving, as I said. A lot of people, like a lot of Nigerians, do what we call like ajo contribution, adashe, like where maybe 10 of you come together and then you're contributing maybe 1,000 every month, 500 every month, and you want to use it as your down payment. Yes, that is a very good source of savings for us, but you want to be able to explain to the advisor. Most of the advisors do not understand what ajo means. They don't know what contribution means. They want to be very sure that the amount you are bringing in as your down payment is not a borrowed fund. You didn't borrow it, you're not obligated to return it. It's not going to be a liability on you, because here you are coming to borrow 95% from the bank. They want to be very sure that the 5% you're bringing in is not borrowed. They want to see proof that it was saved. They want to see the source of that money. So coming back to ajo, coming back to contribution money, if you are saving if you're saving with ajo, when it is your turn to pack, that is the time when it is your turn to pack, like maybe the month that you're going to pack is January, and then January the person coordinating now triple the money in your account, you have to be very, very careful, because your application may be turned down because you cannot explain why somebody is sending you money. You cannot explain the relationship between you and the person. Like, why is this person sending? Why is there $15,000 in your account? Who is the person and why did it come into your account? You now start saying you did that job. In that case, you want that money to either go into your savings account. You put it into your savings account, then from your savings account you put it into the account where you want to show as your down payment account. You understand? In that way, it is coming from your savings account and it is coming to your account where you want to use as your down payment. The reason why I'm saying this is because the people are going to pay you in lump sum, right? They're going to pay you that money in lump sum. Any amount above, let me even say above 2,000, 3,000 that hits your account within that period that you save for your down payment will be scrutinized. So you want to be very sure that you can explain it. So you either, why am I in this spot for God's sake? And why is this man cleaning the road at this time? I'm leaving the spot that I am because somebody is cleaning the road and it's really, really noisy. Okay, so now, if you have a good relationship with the person that is going to be sending the money to you, like the ajo to you when it is your turn to pack, then the person may be able to use it to do like a gift deed, to say, okay, I'm gifting Saada to this money. Of course, using gifts as a down payment has its own criteria, but you want to make sure that the person, you have a good relationship with the person and the person can say, okay, he's giving you as a gift or something. But if it is ajo you're using, I know what I'm talking about, just be sure you can explain it and they can understand why a certain amount is coming to you as a down payment, you know, in your down payment account. So other ways you can source for your down payment, you can actually show that you maybe as an immigrant you had a business in Nigeria which you sold up, and then that lump sum is in your account as a down payment. So if the scrutiny is high, they may want to see like a sales deed, like a receipt or something to show that you sold a business or you sold your house back home, and then you're using that amount as your down payment. The thing behind the down payment is you should be able to explain where the money is coming from, because trust me, they're going to ask you all those questions. Down here, nobody cares how much you have, nobody cares. They just want to be sure that the money you keep as your down payment is not borrowed. You're not going to have to return it back. It was accumulated over a period of time, and if it is not accumulated over a period of time, then you should be able to explain where the money came from. There's some people that sold their homes back home. There's some people that sold a business, you know, before coming. I advise that once you come in, or if you have not even declared it to your advisor, like if you, for example, you know you want to use bank A for your mortgage, if you have not done it already, you can do it now and say you're expecting payment from a sale of your business back home, like, so that it will be in the notes to show that, okay, Saadatu has an incoming money coming from Nigeria, coming from her home country. So when that money eventually comes into your account, they'll see that, okay, you actually discussed it. That is for somebody that wants to put a lump sum in their account, and that lump sum is coming from a sale of something back home. You know, you have to be very sure that that money is explainable. If not, your application may just be turned down. Over here, down payment is a big deal, because now you're coming to look for a house. You want to buy a house of 500,000, and you're only bringing in 25,000, and you're looking for the extra 75,000 from your financial institution. If it is the money in your pockets, will you give it out? Will you give it out to somebody that is just bringing in 5%, and then I'm going to put myself up on risk to give you the remaining 95%? So that is why your down payment is going to be scrutinized. Your credit rating is going to be scrutinized. They have to show that, they have to see that you have a stable income, you have a job that you can pay your monthly mortgage. Like, they want to be sure that you can. Also, there's something about your down payment that I want to discuss here. That is mortgage loan insurance. We call it like default insurance. So if anybody is paying 5% below 20% as down payment, then there's something we call the default insurance. That is, a third party is going to insure the bank against default from you. Like, they are going to, in this case we're using 475,000, right? The insurance company is going to insure the bank in case of default from you. That is the way of the bank insuring themselves that, okay, we're giving out 95% to this person. Anything that goes wrong, the insurance company is going to cover the bank. So that amount, there's going to be a premium that you're going to pay, and that premium is going to be added to your, is part of the cost of the mortgage. So now if you're using 500,000 as our example as down payment, to bring 25,000 as your down payment, you're going to pay an additional money, which is the insurance premium of the 475,000. That is going to be bought by you, the person that wants to apply for the mortgage. But you're not going to pay it like in bulk. It's going to be added to the mortgage cost, along with other fees which will be disclosed to you. Those are the money that will now be spread for your amortization period of 25 to 30 years that you're going to pay the mortgage. So it's going to be spread along with all those fees and all those costs. So it is going to be bought by you. So, like, for example, it may even be that default insurance premium may be up to like $15,000. So you're bringing in a down payment of 25,000, and you're going to pay a default insurance of like 15,000, for example. You're not paying off pocket, but it's going to be spread. You're going to be the one to pay it over time of your mortgage life. So that is why some people just look at it that, why will I do 5% when I can save up and pay 20%, and then I will not have to pay default insurance? If you're going to pay 20% and above, then the bank does not need a default insurance on your behalf. They don't need to certify themselves that, okay, this person is going to default, let me, so that is the reason why some people just look at it that, why the hurry? Why do I have to pay extra premium just because I'm bringing 5%? Let me just hook my way. That 15%, if I add it to my down payment, I will be able to save up 20% over time. No hurry, there's no hurry in life in getting a mortgage. If you are not the kind of person that is being competitive, that my friend had done a mortgage, I want to also do my mortgage. If not, then you have to plan it well and then be able to save up 20%. But if you feel I can't wait, like I'm ready to do 5%, I don't mind doing the default insurance, I'm not even going to pay it off my pocket, I'm going to pay it over a period of 25 to 30 years, and yeah, you can go ahead. The government has made it very easy for first-time home buyers to be able to buy a home. That is the reason why you see that somebody has spent 6 months, 8 months, 1 year in Canada, and the next thing they're declaring that, hey, I bought my home, I bought my house. That is because the government has made it very easy for first-time home buyers to be able to buy a house by bringing down the down payment amount from 20% to 5%. Not saying that you're forced to. Anybody that has the amount, of course, you can, as a first-time home buyer, you can still go ahead and pay 20% or even above. We have people that are ready to even pay 100% cash for their homes, but of course the government does not just accept such money from people, especially when you're new and you want to pay for something 100%. The Canadian government does not really support that. They scrutinize the source of income and all that, so that's another story for another time. So that is about default insurance, which you should know before you go for your advice on mortgage. You're supposed to have an idea of how it runs, so you know that, okay, I have 5% and I know I'm going to do default insurance and all that. So that is that about down payment. So as I said earlier, I'm going to be talking about other things: saving up for your mortgage, doing a pre-approval, looking for a home, the criteria you should look at, and all that. All right, so thank you. If this video has been helpful, please watch my next video on this particular mortgage series, for you to be very, very educated. Thank you. If you have any questions, if you have any concern, if I have said something that is not correct, please put it in the comment section for other people to learn. And as I said, this is an information, it's not a financial advice. Seek proper advice from your advisor, and yeah, make your own additional research. All right, thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye.